What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, your favorite day of the week. And you know why? Because you get to spend it with us. It is the Black Hole Unleashed. I'm MP, that handsome devil over there. That's right, I got it right this time. That would be Jay Long. And guess what today, folks? Today you get some of the best guests ever. He and I. And our favorite beverages.
This way.
I went the wrong way.
You got it right the first time. You screwed
I should have stopped. And that what you're supposed to do?
You should have just stopped. Stop pointing.
You stop. You stop at that point. Once you nail it, you don't do it again. We've all seen that video. If it's a skateboard, if it's someone flipping, and but you know what? I did it, and that's okay. I will take the brunt. I will take the hill, my brother. How are you doing?
You know what? Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, man. I mean, the short story on our guests is we had a couple of guests lined up, and like half the nation is freezing right now, and a lot of these people are a lot of folks out without power or having rolling blackouts, and so our guests just couldn't make it. It just wasn't, the logistics couldn't be worked out. So hope everyone's staying safe, staying warm, stay off the roads and everything.
Yeah.
But we're doing pretty good. I mean, I was in shorts earlier. I got a little jacket on now, but like Jim was saying, freezing in Austin right now. I know my family's back in Texas. They're all freezing and everything. So, everyone's doing the best they possibly can right now. So we want you to stay safe. Enjoy the show. If you're on like 2% of your phone,
don't use it for
maybe
us.
save that for the rescue dogs, for the snow dogs. But
get those chains. If
you have more than that, then you know what we're gonna do, Mike? We're gonna have a couple of adult beverages. So, if you're cold, grab you something that'll warm your soul. And we're just going to talk some football tonight, man. We are just going to talk some freaking football. And that's, kind of where our area expertise lies, man. We just like to talk sports. So, how about we just do that?
You know what? You used a scary word right there. You used the word expertise. I think we're fooling them. What's this hand doing over here? I don't know what this hand's doing over there. He said tackle. He said catch. Football. No. We are going to have a good time. Everyone who's checking in, Mike Dixon out there, thanks for listening, bro. This weather is crazy. I wouldn't have to check on my mother. She's up in the Michigan region. You just talk about it globally or nationally, rather. And it's insane, man. It's insane. It is that. Don't go outside unless you call your ex-girlfriend up if you don't have an extra blanket. Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do, bro.
Hey, girl. Hey, hey. I know it's been like 3 years and I did you dirty, but you want to just survive? You want to survive for the next couple of days? Because I am homeless and I need body heat, man.
Body heat, yeah.
Well, lucky for us, man, we got some good stuff to talk about.
We do.
Yeah, including you know what? Before we start, let's roll our open here.
It's time for Barbershop Chop.
It's time for Barbershop Shop. I love our little open. That's how I like to roll it, man.
I did it. It reminds me of the bar, not the bar. Yeah, BAR, Born and Raised. That one room that they have. The theme of the room.
That red room.
No, not the red room. The one with all the mechanical Daft Punk. No, Steampunk.
Daft Punk is a band.
But no, steampunk. That always reminds me of steampunk. I know that so went south. Please stay with us. I do this probably every 4 shows where I just say something that someone goes, the hell's that man talking about? What is in that glass? Really, really. But yeah, let's go. Let's move it. I'm done.
Ariel saying,
looking at the camera.
In Argentina, we're in summer. Hey, well, just rub it in there. Or Ariel. Sorry if I screwed up your name. I do that a lot. The football season's over. Now it's 2021. heading toward the draft, heading toward all these things. Teams are quietly making, a little bit of moves, but the new NFL year doesn't start for a little while and everything. So we still are a little ways away from getting an accurate picture of what this Raiders team is going to look like in 2021. But it's not so far off that we can't start talking expectations. As Raider Nation knows, 6-3 at one point in early 2020, looking like world beaters, wins over the Browns, win over KC, doing a lot of good things. So, Mike, what are those expectations for 2021, and how do you manage it? How do you temper it? I know you're an old account manager. How do you manage expectations for the fan base going into this new season where, pretty new city, pretty new stadium. Now, there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of expectations. There are some high hopes.
Yeah, high hopes. We've got pie up in the sky hopes, all that stuff. Man, you look at this thing. Remember, originally or not originally, I'm a Detroit Lions fan. So if you talk about someone who's talked about having to temper expectation, I even worked for the Lions and I had to temper expectation and go out and try to tell people about, man, next year's our year. So, I think at this point, we look at it, we know that the $100 million man, which that's a lot of money, he probably had to hire people to help carry the bags. And, this has to be it, man. The city, yes, we're a new city, but it's a fan base that, as everyone has learned from VJK, we grow in. Then the black hole as a whole, man, the world, the country, they are ready for this thing. Gruden, he didn't promise it, but he sure talked a good talk. He said any other word but, hey, I promise you we're going to win. And so, you have the pieces. I know we're going to talk about a couple other things down the road, but man, it's hard to temper it. And, people are going to be hungry next year. We know that we weren't able to go into the arena this year, so people are going to go into the arena. And when they see that big new shiny toy, they're going to want to be some big new shiny wins along with it. You don't want to spend 8 hours of your day. And folks, it's an 8-hour day when you go to a football game. And those of you guys who've gone know what I'm talking about. And, come up flat. So, we can't do 8-8 again, man. I know I said a lot of nothing. I sounded like a politician. I think I had 1,000 words in there and didn't say butt kiss. But, we as a fan base, we deserve it. I know the defense was the thing that let us down. So, the emphasis obviously has to be on the defense. Those were the big changes. There's a big name that just became available. It's one of those things of, I always go, why not me? You're some ugly guy out there who's dating a supermodel and has 12 cents in his pocket. It is. And you just go, what the hell? So why can't we get the pretty girl? Why can't we get JJ Watt? I guess that's what I'm saying. Why can't we, baby? Why can't we?
The question isn't why can't we? It's should we? Should we pick up JJ Watt? No one knows anything right now what his salary expectations were because he was paid like one of the top guys in the league, of course, 3-time defensive player of the year and, kind of a cornerstone to that franchise and everything. What are his expectations as far as salary, especially since, he is coming off a year where he played all 16 games, but, he doesn't have too many of those lately. Where he's dealt with some season-ending injuries over the course of the last couple of seasons. So what are those expectations going to be for a player that caliber of J.J. Watt? Now, he can command this much money, up here because he does have all those accolades. And when he is healthy, he can change a game and things like that. But there are very few teams at this moment, as of right now, as of this show, that can manage that salary, adding that salary in. But any team in the NFL, if they want that guy, if they want JJ Watt, all they got to do is open up the checkbook and finesse the money a little bit and everything. And there's talk, of course, he's got his brother and the connections in Pittsburgh and of course Green Bay where he was from, and everything going on like there. But Does he really want to play with his brother? I mean, Pittsburgh was a good team last year. Aaron Rodgers and company are always in it. Ben Roethlisberger, of course, in Pittsburgh, and he wants to play for a championship team. So neither one of those destinations would completely shock me. But, our friend Greg Bell, who was a running back for the Raiders,
right?
He said a couple of days ago, J.J. Watt was the kind of guy that back in the day, Al Davis would have moved heaven and earth to make him a Raider. But we've seen John Gruden, practically give away his best defensive player. So is it, even though that is a glaring weakness, I think you could take more of that money and fill more holes to make that a complete defensive squad rather than go get one guy, because we're not, let's be realistic, we're not one guy away from a Super Bowl win or for a title contention, and we're certainly not a J.J. Watt away from it,
But how do you know that? I mean, and I'm not saying one person, but think about it. You just said we were at one point 6-3. We were 6-3 in the games that you and I sat together, which was probably at that point afterwards, rather, about 5 of them. We know damn well they should have probably won at least 3 of those games. And what's my favorite girl? And so you look at that and you go, man, we should have won. We should have had an opportunity to be the guys. We should have been up, at least have the play-in, not the playing game, but the wild card, the last wild card seed to get in there, man. We were there. Think about it. We felt it's just like beating up the big guy in school. Once you kick the bully's ass, hey, can't nobody tell you nothing. And we was beating KC's ass, man. We was one punch away from that. And so we had that, and I truly believe had we just gone ahead and won those games, maybe, hold on. I mean, it's not Kool-Aid. It's not Kool-Aid, but I truly believe that these guys can get it. And, we talked about Richard Sherman last week. Think about it. If we got a Richard Sherman, and I got to stop saying think about it. That's one of my favorite terms. But Richard Sherman and J.J. Watt on that defense, that's a difference maker.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And we do have cap space. I mean, that's a positive going into the season for the Raiders, is they do have that cap space where they can work. Again, they'd have to get creative, but you also need extensions for guys like Darren Waller, who is, a catalyst on that offense, and who is tragically underpaid. I mean, crazily underpaid. Aguilar needs to be re-signed, guys like this. So, what do you do? Do you sacrifice a little bit of the offense, maybe not re-sign Waller, maybe franchise him, something like that, let Aguilar go in order to get a Richard Sherman and a J.J. Watt, or a Patrick Peterson, who's also a free agent, but who's going to command top dollar as well. What do you go after? It's going to be very interesting to see, but they do have those holes. I mean, the defense, the secondary was scorched a few times. I mean, they had young corners and everything, but a healthy Abrams, a healthy Damon Arnett, and these guys, I think they have some good building blocks. You add in a Richard Sherman on a 1 or 2 year contract, very manageable fees, even if it's a higher upfront cost or something like that, that can, and also kind of play a mentor to some of these younger guys on defense and everything. But they got zero push up front. They have zero push, as far as sacks. We were one of the worst teams in the league. The defensive line often couldn't get to the quarterback. There were a bunch of games where they were held sackless, zero pressures on the quarterback. And the fact is, if you're going to meet Patrick Mahomes twice a year, we got it done the first time. The second time we played them tough, we're always going to play KC tough. Right. But you got, this incredible division here. Justin Herbert with the Chargers, good young quarterback and everything. We saw, what Tampa Bay did, and that is my model for every athletic quarterback. I've said it all the way back to Cam Newton and that Super Bowl they had there. Put these young guys on the ground. Don't let them get into a rhythm, but you got to have that push. And if you don't have that, well, they just sit back there all day and just get into their rhythm, dump it off to Tyreek Hill, let them run 30 yards, and there you go. They eat you alive underneath because they have all day to just sit there and go through slowly their progressions because you got nothing going on up there.
And it's crazy. And you hit the nail on the head with a lot of those points. You look at what we need in Tampa Bay last year. No one was talking about them doing anything. Hell, their starting quarterback, I don't even remember who they're starting. Oh, wait, who was their starting quarterback last year? Was it Crabman? Was Crabman? No.
What?
Jameis Winston. Yeah,
Crabman.
Crabman.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. Was he the quarterback?
Mr. Krabs, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. But no. But think about that. We weren't even talking about him, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, and it's not like they just picked up somebody who was playing for Ball State University. Yes, they got Thomas Brady, as you say, baby Jesus. But in picking him up, it was confidence. They had confidence. And all of a sudden, Mike Evans, because shit, dude, come on. Mike Evans was just that guy you would always go, man, Mike Evans ain't a winner. At least that's what I said. You're like, Mike Evans, because he was always crying. He's on when he didn't catch the balls you wanted him to catch. And Rojo, you're like, Rojo? Who the hell is Rojo? Who's giving out names over there? Oh, it's an old man. Okay, Rojo.
Rojo.
But guess what? They got it all together this year. It was the quarterback, and yes, they have Ndamukong Suh. Yes, they had Jason Pierre-Paul, so those things we're talking about, that push. But that's where we bring in that J.J. Watt, bro. And now all of a sudden, Carr didn't have a bad year. We all said that. If we go to the feed looking on Facebook, man, everyone doesn't want to get rid of Carr. They don't want Deshaun Watson with his 3-13. like the hell we bringing in a 3-13 quarterback for? He got pitches too.
Oh man,
he got pitches.
NFL math.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody, do this. Do this to us. Put down what you think. What is tolerable for you for your season next year? We always do this at the end of the year. We talk about, well, if they had told us we would have been 8-8, I guess I would have been okay. Put your number right now. We're gonna play that. What is that number for you in order for this? Is it playoffs or bust? Is it being competitive? Is it Super Bowl or bust? Some of you like me are probably drinking that Kool-Aid, but this is good Kool-Aid. But let us know. So you know me, bro. Go ahead and with the next one, baby boy.
All right. So talking about John Gruden and talking about expectations and everything else. John Gruden famously, saying at the beginning of this beginning of his tenure with the Raiders, his latest tenure with the Raiders, saying, if I fail, I'm not going to take any of that Raider money. Of course, what is failure? Failure is subjective, right? Failure meaning he didn't coach a game, or failure, what does that mean? Looking at it, is my question to you, Mike, is his destiny, is his coaching tenure tied with this next season? I mean, now we're fully in. He's got the guys that he wants. He's got the coaches that he wants. He's gone to bat for several coaches that didn't work out. Paul Gunther, these guys. So at what point does the team hold John Gruden responsible and go, if they crap out again, maybe this isn't the guy.
Yeah, no, you had the correct phrase up there, the honeymoon phase. And I think this is it. If we look at when he was here in 2002, am I getting the, or 2001, that's when things started to click. If I'm not mistaken, that was Brady Gate or whatever we want to call that. Yeah, the Tuck rule. Yeah. And, but they were heading in the right direction. And then the next year, we went to the Super Bowl, unfortunately did not have the win that we wanted, and crazy enough playing against Gruden, no new news. But we're at that point, and people have long memories, man. This ain't no the TBH. We ain't no short-term memory people here. They know everything. They know when it happened. They want accountability. Don't talk it if you can't deliver it. That's one thing we have found out. They don't play that. Papa don't play that. And so the honeymoon phase is over. He's had his moment to evaluate Carr. Carr came through. Am I correct? Didn't he? I think it did. Yeah,
Sorry,
I think it did. No, that's okay. I think he came through.
Adult beverage.
Yeah, no, bro. I know.
Carr had a career year.
Yeah, so
Really
you look at those things, man, and there's no excuse. We have we have a Pro Bowl running back, we have a Pro Bowl tight end, we have one of the fastest wide receivers who was just a rookie who's supposed to have a breakout year. We cut the other Williams, if I'm not mistaken. We let him go. His injuries, and everything else got the best of him. But that just leaves us open. Not Gallup. Gallup's in Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Gallup in Dallas wide receiver, or is that Detroit? Whoever Detroit's wide receiver, he's available. Galloway. Galloway's available, and so there's some options out here, man. I gotta go. It's over, man. I don't know. Is that 100 million guaranteed? Is it all guaranteed?
It's something, man.
Jesus Christ!
He's got to have pictures on Mark Davis.
He got pictures.
But again, it's kind of one of those things, and I get both sides of it. But it's kind of one of those things like who would you get to replace him? Who would be better than John Gruden? I'm not saying he's not a good coach. Sure. Obviously, he's made a couple of trips to the big game and things like that. So he knows a little bit about what's going on as far as NFL is concerned. But, who would you get to replace him? It's kind of, you get rid of Derek Carr, but who are you going to get to replace him? Who's going to be better than him? Or are you talking about taking steps backwards in order just to get a little temporary satisfaction of saying, we got rid of you, you got fired, you got to give the money up, whatever. But then who do you get to replace him at this point? Who's that coach? Jacksonville, we think Jacksonville might have hit a home run. They were the only team that could lure Urban Meyer out of, retirement, self-imposed retirement because of his health issues, but it all fell into place. They had a lot of money. He got total control, and they get the number 1 draft pick. So, in a year that just happens to have Trevor Lawrence in it. So, it's kind of one of those things like, okay, Urban Meyer, or do you go young, the youth movement in the NFL, and look at the college ranks and some of these young cats that are doing their thing in college and pluck one of these guys like like in Arizona and these places like that, or in LA with Sean McVay and those guys, then what do you do? So it's kind of like, you got to back yourself into a corner, but also that contract. I mean, I think if it wasn't for the amount that it was for, I don't think we'd be talking about it. If it was a regular NFL, if it was a regular NFL coaching contract and fell in line with everything else, I think we wouldn't talk about it. But because it was 10 years, $100 million, and it was John Gruden coming out of the Monday Night Football booth to coach a team again, I think there's bigger expectations. With those bigger contracts come those bigger expectations, and it's a pretty wild ride right now. But
yeah, no, it really is. And you know what? The fact that she even brought that up, that is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't, as far as going with coaches. I was sitting here, listening to you, but you just go down and you say, man, you old men get these damn jobs. All these old ass men keep getting recycled like Pinto tires. You're like, they don't make them no more. They don't make them no more. So they keep getting them, and it's on topic, but excuse me, off topic. When the young coach that I'm going to compare what most teams should do is Juwan Howard, because what he was able to do, and Juwan Howard, and then also Steve Nash. They had no experience in what they were doing, first-time head coaches. But what they did, they weren't too proud to bring other coaches on who've had experience. Phil Martelli with Juwan Howard, who coached UMass. He had great success. He put several players. In fact, he had the player of the year playing for his team at one point. So he knows exactly how to do it. You look at Steve Nash. He brought in Houston's old coach, your boy, Dan Antoni. Dan Antoni and some other people. So he's like, I don't know everything about this. So I want to put a good business together, because it is a business. Coaching is a business. When
It is.
and you're the manager of these employees, and these employees throw footballs or throw or shoot basketballs. So,
Yeah.
I don't know who we get, dude, because the one that's out there is Lincoln Riley. He's the guy that everybody wants, but I don't think we have
Everybody's trying to get him. Everybody's
Yeah.
trying to, every year too.
Yeah.
Every year.
But we don't have a Lincoln Riley quarterback, I don't believe. Because I'd have to go with he's a systems guy, and he needs somebody with some wheels, and Lord God bless Derek Carr. I don't think that boy could run fast if he was being chased for his money. His gold cross, whatever the case may be. But it's honeymoon's over. Gruden, we talked, and that's what I said, man. Your honeymoon over.
So Lincoln Riley quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Where does Deshaun Watson go? You talk about a young athlete who has wills, but also has pocket presence and everything. Big, young, athletic guy. Why not Deshaun Watson?
Yeah,
he wants out. He wants out of. Everybody's leaving Houston. James Harden left Houston. J.J. Watt left Houston. They moved DeAndre Hopkins before he could even ask. Everybody's leaving Houston. So Deshaun Watson. I know that he has let it be known through his people that he wants to end up in somewhere like New York or something like that. But the Texans aren't in any hurry to trade him to somewhere where it's not going to make any sense for them. They're trying to get the most out of it, because you are talking about a NFL starter, and what a weird year, right, for NFL starters in general. Russell Wilson wants out. Jimmy Garoppolo is probably out of San Francisco. The carousel is, we saw what happened with Matt Stafford and Jared Goff. So it's a weird year where supposedly unmovable franchise quarterbacks are all of a sudden the NFL owners are like, wait, you thought you were untouchable? Oh, no.
Right.
We'll ship you out for a ham sandwich. We'll go play in the Canadian leagues for all we care. It's a weird year, man. A couple years ago, you wouldn't dream about getting rid of Jared Goff. You wouldn't dream about moving Matt Stafford, or the price it would take would be an absolute fortune. So that's one thing that Deshaun Watson has against him, is that he has that extension. He's owed a lot of money, but that's NFL quarterback money. It's pretty much in line with everything. We'll talk about Dak Prescott here in a little bit, about how much money he's going to command, and coming off the heels of what Patrick Mahomes was just paid. I mean, Lord Almighty, they set new records. Lord help us. They set new records. But,
man,
you have a Lincoln Riley and a Deshaun Watson in a silver and black uniform and coaching outfit. Not 2021. Ain't going to happen this year, but 2022.
Come on, man. Let's bring out the mad and blowing. If anything is possible, and stick it back in. That would be, oh, my God. What's up, Lawrence? Yeah, no, that would be awesome, dude, if we were able to get Lincoln. But Watson, you know how I am. I'm with you. I'm in X's and O's. How does it look? If it looks like it's a Pinto, it's a Pinto. If it looks like it's a Lamborghini, it's a Lamborghini. And as much as I like Deshaun Watson, I love his story. Getting the home when he was a child from the Tampa Bay running back, and he grew up, work done, and wanting to do the things that he did. That's a great story. But I'm not convinced that, I don't. He's not Aaron Rodgers. That's for damn sure. I think if you and I were playing with Aaron Rodgers, he'd like, yo, old black man, run like straight. Yo, little short white guy, you go out there, man, you block somebody, and we would win. Man. But I'm not convinced on it. And I love Deshaun Watson. I know, where does he end up? He wants to go to New York? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you better be careful what you ask for. New York is unforgiving. You know what? Here you go. He may go to New York, but it'll be the damn New York Jets.
Yeah. And that's the team too. I mean, that's what they're looking at, the New York Jets and everything. But that big market city lots of opportunities for sponsorship money and things like that. But it's a very harsh market. You have the Giants right across the way, and the media, and it's tough to win there and everything else, or at least that's what they say. And that's why half the reason why Eli Manning's getting into the Hall of Fame, even though he's a mediocre quarterback. He's a mediocre quarterback.
We got some stuff from Eli later on.
Mediocre quarterback, but he gets a Hall of Fame pass because he won 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants. So, I mean, that's impressive and all, but, if set up your team in Rio de Janeiro and win 2 Super Bowls, and then all of a sudden I'll tell you about how awesome you are and everything. But Deshaun Watson, 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean, it's not like he's a terrible quarterback, Mike. Come on, man. I mean, what are you telling me? I mean, you wouldn't want he's a young guy. Now, if you trade for him, yeah, you're going to have to give up some first-round picks and probably a haul of everything, but, I mean, he's under team control for the next 4 or 5 seasons, and you go from one franchise quarterback to another. It's not like you're taking a chance on a guy in college that's never thrown an NFL pass because you don't know what he has. You got a young guy who's motivated. He's going to be motivated, okay? So it's not like he's in a contract year. He's already got the extension. Now he wants to prove people wrong. I can succeed in this league. I have a chip on my shoulder. Now I'm going to come out and, usually athletes need motivation, right? They come out, they do their thing now that he's pissed off and everything. I think Deshaun Watson is going to, wherever he ends up this season, I think he's going to turn some heads, man. I think he's going to light the league on fire. And like I said, he just threw for 4,800 yards and 33 touchdowns.
And nobody knew it. And nobody knew it.
But that was a terrible team.
Does a tree make a sound when it falls and no one's around? Yes. Yeah. Right. First of all, this is my picture of Eli Manning. This is Eli Manning mad. This is Eli Manning happy. This is Eli Manning asking for a raise. This is Eli Manning. So with that said, Deshaun Watson, possibly, quite possibly. You sat there. I was listening to you. You were like the mayor of the Black Hole Unleashed, and I was listening, and I went, okay, I can see him coming here because yes, it is Vegas. I always forget that this is Las Vegas. To me, we live in. Yeah, name the city because I don't
name a city that's not Las Vegas.
Yeah, right.
And then remind yourself that we live in Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah, so it's an alluring thing. You a young guy, I can make a difference. The silver and black, it's a logo. It's a brand that everyone can relate to. Charles Woodson coming into the scenario of him coming here originally and then coming back. He showed his undying love. So. It's and I'm just saying for someone that's relatable to him, one of the later players, and so I can get it. But we just did it. What sport did we just do it in? No, damn, the Lions. The Lions just did it. Maybe we could do it. The Lions and the Rams. Trade quarterback for quarterback. We look at that. Hell, Gruden has about 162 picks. He and old Mike. So. Yeah, you see, you got me, man. I got to drink my adult beverages. See what you got me doing now? See what you have me doing.
For everyone just joining us, welcome to the Black Hole Unleashed. We're just talking football tonight. MP, J Long, chime in. Where are you from? Where are you watching from? All of our chatters checking in, man. We appreciate you guys. Now we're just talking football tonight. This is my next one here. Trevor Lawrence, right? Presumptive number 1 pick in this year's draft, presumably going to the Jacksonville Jaguars with Urban Meyer, who just got himself into some controversy already for hiring Mr. Racist guy out of Iowa, thinking that nobody would notice. I guess it ain't college football no more, Urban. You don't get your way. You ain't Nick Saban at
You're
Alabama.
Not the mayor of Jacksonville. You're not.
Yeah, not. Nobody cares, all right? But presumably they're going to get Trevor Lawrence in this draft and everything. We've seen it time and time again. He is being compared. I mean, or the best the best ready-made NFL product since Andrew Luck, a few years ago. And Andrew Luck did have a good career and decided to hang it up and everything. Really young, but Trevor Lawrence, is he fool's gold? We've seen him for a number of seasons now. We've seen the difference that he has, when he's with the team and when he's not because of his COVID issue, unfortunately, this year. Is he fool's gold? Is Jacksonville getting the real deal, or are they getting I don't know, name a quarterback, a Kyle Orton, a Jamarcus Russell, any of those guys?
Yeah, no, name the quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy. Even though I was sitting here going, well, the last three are starting to prove that theory wrong. You look at it right now because we have a Raven quarterback. God, his name just left my
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. He's doing his thing. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. So those guys are, they're kind of getting that whole monkey off the back.
The Tua winner?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, he was looking good. Because he wasn't a full-time starter. They were doing the whole he and Magic Man thing. Fitzpatrick rather. And so it really wasn't be able to give a good assessment of what he's able to do. But he didn't suck. He's not on Fox already being an analyst like all the rest of them are.
Dan Orlovsky. I don't understand how Dan Orlovsky is an analyst. Wasn't at one time he was the worst quarterback in the league?
You guys
Isn't he the guy who ran out of the back of the end zone?
Yeah,
and got the safety on his own team because he ran other. And now he's dropping hammers down on Deshaun Watson because
Detroit Lions. That was the Detroit Lions. That's what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
that was him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Dan Orlovsky sucks.
Then he went to Dallas and sucked for Dallas. So.
Oh yeah.
But he had Sam Bradford's agent, so anything's possible when you have Sam Bradford's agent.
Bradford's agent. You're the real MVP.
He's the real MVP every day.
Sam Bradford's still collecting checks.
Oh, yeah, right there. Come on. And he and Bobby Bonilla. He and Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla. Talking about Heisman quarterbacks, sucking. There you go, man. Sam Bradford.
But they normally do. So I don't know if he's fool's gold. He reminds me a lot of Jared Goff just from the build alone. If you look at him, the golden boy, he has the fleecy golden hair. He's svelte. Yes, svelte. A slender guy, and it's not look like he's just going to go there, and just be Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz just looked like he just came out of the woods throwing rocks. And then someone gave him a football. He's like, football. Trevor Lawrence.
What was that movie? The basketball Hoosiers, right? Where the kids just playing on a dirt hoop at the on the farm, on the family farm. Yeah. He's like, oh, try basketball, or like what was the other one? The basketball movie, The Air Up There. Was that it?
Yeah, The Air Up There.
And it was basically Akeem Olajuwon coming to the NBA story, basically, and they were just like, "Ooh, you can jump high."
Yeah,
there's a basketball, All right,
basketball, hoop, basketball. I talk English, man, but it's going to be interesting because he could be a systems guy. Who'd we have? The Ohio State guy that we had on a while ago who played for the Raiders. I was busted. I busted his ass because Ohio State quarterbacks, they never transpired to anything. I mean, they ready to go to the strip club, but that's a whole nother story.
They gave him like 3 games and he went to the strip club and they were like, yeah, you're good. We're good on
you. Actually, here's weed maps and here's strip map. Go have fun.
There you go. Enjoy that signing bonus.
What do you think? Do you think he's fool's gold? I mean, you look at him. You've seen his run. He's been competitive. Everybody always wants to give it to the quarterback, but we always know, yes, the quarterback's integral, but he ain't the only reason these teams have been winning.
Well, you know what, man? Here's the thing. He could be, and he does look like the prototypical, really athletic quarterback. He's got the arm. He can make the throws. All the throws that they deem necessary that an NFL quarterback make, across the body and hitting those flats, for receivers and running backs and all that good stuff. But gosh darn, man, going to these teams, Jacksonville and the Jets and all these terrible teams, they're terrible for a reason. They weren't just terrible for a season. They've been terrible for a long time. So really it's going to come down to, what does Urban Meyer do in Jacksonville to get him some protection early as far as rebuilding the offensive line, and taking some pressure off of him, giving him weapons, but also, making sure that he doesn't get the David Carr yips. You know what I'm saying? When he got drafted by the Texans and he got sacked like 100 and something times over the season, set all kinds of records, back-to-back seasons. All of a sudden he couldn't throw a ball because he was afraid that a freaking defensive lineman was on his ass before he even hiked the ball. So it's going to come down to his coaching, unfortunately for him. Yeah. Because he could be, and also not every quarterback, it's hard to believe this, but not every quarterback is a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or any of these Aaron Rodgers, these type of guys who spend time in the film room.
Right.
That is something that's not really taught too often at the definitely not at the high school level, but at the college level and everything else. How much these guys love football, not just playing football, but studying football, studying defenses, able to check downs, able to make adjustments at the line. You see Peyton Manning was famous for it, right? Omaha. He always had a million different calls and everything else because he, up until his body gave out on him, he was that guy who spent every minute in the film room breaking down defenses. It's, that's how smart he was. He won a Super Bowl when there is no earthly reason that he even should have been on the field throwing passes. And Tom Brady developed that over time at with the Patriots under Bill Belichick and everything. He became a film rat and everything else. But does he have that in him to not be the young guy with millions of dollars? I'm going to go hit the strip club. I want to buy up bottles and be the guy, and I want to be on the cover of all these magazines and everything else. But yet be the guy who sits in the film room, does the due diligence, Russell Wilson and, these cats like that who have won the big one. Is he going to be – I have no idea, man. And that's what's intriguing about it, because he has the athletic tools, but does he really have what's needed to be not just a starter in the NFL, but be successful as a starter in the NFL, to be that franchise quarterback that the Jets need or that Jacksonville needs or that whoever picks him up at the end needs him to be. We're going to find out real quick. He's got the athletics, but does he have the up here and, wherever
the heart?
Down.
Where's the heart? Where's my heart, baby? Where's my heart? All right. But, it's so crazy that you bring that up. I was watching the Lakers, when I was downstairs cooking dinner, and I just look at LeBron James and just thinking that, man, this kid, he's great, but I don't know if he's ever going to win anything. Then he went to the Olympics and he hung out with Kobe, and he wanted to be a winner, and that thing that you're talking about right now, the whole, is he going to hit the room? Is he going to, does he know the history of it? Whatever team that he's going to, is he going to take the time to find out what the history of that team is about? If he comes to the Jacksonville, the history was there was a guy who went to the ocean, he caught a fish, and then it was the team. Like, huh? It's Jacksonville, baby. No, but I don't know. But, knowing the history of the team.
What's in that glass? Yeah. You got some moonshine over there, man?
Not Kool-Aid. But no, that's an important thing, man. And these young guys nowadays, that's, to me, one of the things that they're kind of lacking is that commitment. They take it all the way to the so funny. I was watching film the other day of videos of Travell Gaines. I didn't lose a bet. I beat you to the joke. I beat you to the joke. But, but I was just watching these young kids that he was training, and I just remember seeing those things back in the day. And, things didn't end up well with the whole us. But he did have, you would just see these kids who were taking an extra minute. And I thought about Christian Wood. Because I used to see I'd go up to the gym and I always see Christian Wood up there, and I would just always go, and this fool gave himself a party and he didn't get drafted, but he kept that proverbial chip on his shoulder, and
Right.
and so he was able to get better. And now, he's averaging like 16 points a game and blah 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 blah. But I think sometimes you have to be torn down to be built up. And Trevor Lawrence, he looks a little Hollywood, man. He looks a little Hollywood. I don't know if he's that guy. Aaron Rodgers, and not to take anything away from Aaron Rodgers, but I bet you Aaron Rodgers doesn't study as much as Peyton Manning did. I bet you doesn't.
And Peyton Manning, you're talking about two extremes too. Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
I think, is the extreme of studying, whatever. And I'm not saying you have to do that, and I'm not saying that NFL quarterbacks, especially young NFL quarterbacks, shouldn't enjoy the perks of being a young NFL quarterback, right? And having millions of dollars and having a town worship you, and we saw Jimmy Garoppolo, his first weekend in San Francisco, all of a sudden he was dating porn stars.
A porn star? What the hell, bro? He's living my life, baby.
We didn't know who he was, and then a week later he was dating porn stars and everything else. And hell, when you go to LA, Matt Stafford, I know he's married and all that stuff, but your coach is living a Playboy lifestyle. He's got the mansion and the women and the blah 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 and everything. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy the perks of being a professional athlete. I'm just saying, especially at the quarterback position in the NFL, if you don't prioritize the things it takes to be a successful NFL quarterback, you're not going to be an NFL quarterback for long, because this is a what have you done for me lately kind of league. Every team, almost every team outside of a couple of them, are in win now mode. They all believe they are one or two players away, and they would all kill for a franchise freaking quarterback. And if they got a guy that they believe was really that guy, I mean, you're talking about $40 million a year. You're talking about the insane numbers. You're talking about all the riches that go along with that. But you got to put that work in too. Is Trevor Lawrence that guy? We're going to find out real quick. And not to take away anything from the other college quarterbacks that are going to be drafted. And, the guy out of that school and the other guy out of the other school and all these other guys. Those guys. But
I loved him.
He was really impressive. But we're gonna find out, man. We're gonna find out.
But you know what we're really gonna find out, and it's I can't even call it loyalty, because at this point it's business. But the kid at Ohio State that Urban Meyer recruited, he's like, would he draft him? All of a sudden, like, well, you actually don't fit our style, son. You don't fit the style we go with.
No.
And he whooped their ass. He put a beating on them. So everyone, they keep talking this Trevor Lawrence, and like you just said, in respect. And I'm mad I can't think of the kid's name right off the top. But it's going to be funny. Can't wait for draft. We got to be somewhere big when we have our draft party, dude. Somewhere huge.
Well,
huge.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. And talking about the other end, you go from the draft and what the team's gonna do to this guy right here, Adrian Peterson. He's what, 35, 36, something like
man.
that. He's at almost 15,000 yards rushing. He says he wants to stick around to break Emmitt Smith's 18,000 yard record. And he had the last couple of seasons were productive for 35-year-old running backs. Do you see Adrian Peterson sticking around long enough to break Emmitt Smith's record? And even if he does it mean as much
as longevity?
Yeah.
Because if you stay around for 100 years, that you could, No, it's first of all, not getting political, but it's almost like a political spin that he's doing right here, right now, because I have to think that if he had $100 million sitting in a bank somewhere, he may just call it a day. And for those of you that don't know, that Adrian Peterson he's broke. I think he's in debt, a couple $1 million in debt. So he's playing for paychecks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. It's his fault in the sense that he trusted someone he shouldn't have trusted, and you should always have fail safes, I believe. Especially when you're talking about that kind of money, because I'd have to think that Adrian Peterson should have at least 50 million in the bank, at least 50 million.
He's probably made at least 50 million in his playing,
No,
time.
more,
More
longer than that. Yeah, if we give him 3 million each year since he's been in. But with that said, you pay this, you pay that. He was out of the league for that period. Is he on his last legs? Hell yes. Listen, we're not here to extrapolate and break him down. Yes, he's on his last legs. Is there a team? Because that's the thing about it, man. Talking to Cullen, I was talking to him the other day. It's not that teams don't think you're not that you can't bring anything to the table any longer, but it's, well, I can get this younger guy, and he's faster. He may not know as much as you. God bless you, know a lot, boy. You know a lot, but let's give him that uptick. You have hit the ceiling. In fact, the elevator's going down.
Right.
And so, yeah, he got down for the Lions last year. I was so I would laugh when I'd watch a game and they go Peterson and like, damn, he just ripped off 7. Adrian Peterson, but he got what you guys had, that country strength. He got that country strength, man. That's not to be messed with. But man, I don't know where he could go. Tom Brady may ask, or he could be a good third down back, maybe in Tampa Bay. But they have 29 running backs over there already.
He found the end zone 7 times.
Yeah.
Which, believe me, it's not easy, right? I mean, Greg Bell will probably tell you it's not easy to score a touchdown in the NFL, even if you're plunging it in from a couple yards out, right? So but he's still 1,200 yards or an entire season, a good season of running behind Frank Gore, who's still playing at 37. Frank Gore just passed 16,000 yards, and he's still another season or two away from challenging Emmitt Smith's record of 18,000 plus. But at 37 years old, besides a team just wanting to take a record away from Emmitt Smith, I can't see, just for those reasons you said alone, I can't see a team paying an Adrian Peterson or paying a Frank Gore. Even the veteran minimum is what, 1.3, I think, something like that. I mean, whenever you could get a 20-year-old kid fresh out of high school who is going to cost you practically nothing in the NFL, and both of these guys, at 35 and 37 respectively, Gore rushed for like 650 yards and 2 touchdowns,
decent,
and Peterson rushed for like 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, I mean, 600 yards is 600 yards, but at what price are you willing to pay to have an older guy who's just chasing records at this point?
Yeah, no, but he wants to do it just because football is not my sport. When you do it in basketball, I love it. You hear me tell all the analogies I've used today. It's basketball. I love seeing what LeBron's doing. So, but I know the backstory of Adrian Peterson. So it's just for me to feel like, oh man, I hope you can do it. It's more like, damn, dude, I just want you to get those bags. I want you to get paid, man. Get paid as long as you can. Become a coach, a running back coach, because he obviously has that mindset, the ability to show these kids, young fellas, what to do, run up mountains backwards, then jump off and swim across the ocean and come back. And then you start training, he'll tell them all about that kind of good stuff, man. AP.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be an interesting 30 for 30.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting 30 for 30 in a couple of years. I mean, because Adrian Peterson was the truth coming out of Oklahoma. I mean, the Jerry Jones, like you talk about loyalty and everything else, Jerry Jones really wanted Adrian Peterson, but didn't want him that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had to do right for his team and everything else. But Peterson, all those years, kind of wasted with the Vikings, who had a couple of good teams, but then kind of petered out and, lost a couple of seasons of injury, and then turned it around, and with the busted knee or the Achilles, and then came back and won the NFL rushing title again. Season with 2,000 plus yards. Only 8 guys have ever done that, and then just had all of his money stolen and wasted. And you're talking about a guy who's signed NFL contracts in excess of I think $100 million, and
Sure.
is a couple $1 million in the hole, and is only playing for checks at this point. Went through the scandal with his son and all that stuff. So
still mad about that, but that's a different story.
But yeah, I mean, but it's crazy to think about what that story is going to be and how much we don't know because of how much the NFL keeps under wraps for their players and everything else. So
and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too. And that leads us to my final thing, man. Should Seattle rebuild? We talk about the the quarterback carousel this year. Russell Wilson, who has been a soldier for Seattle and everything. Well, there's two sides. People think he's either been the soldier who helped dismantle the Legion of Boom, and kind of dash their immediate hopes of repeating as Super Bowl champions and blah blah blah.
He didn't call that damn play.
Or has he been the soldier, or has he gone Hollywood with the Hollywood wife and everything that he's doing now? Now he's playing out his scenario in the media with the team, saying hey, everyone else gets to jump in and say who they want as their coach and who they want as their GM and who they want as their everything. Why don't I get it? Damn it, I'm Russell Wilson. So he may be on the move. It may be a power struggle between the GM, the owner, Pete Carroll, and Russell Wilson.
Yeah. You know what? Tron want to get paid. So that's all I know. Tron want to get paid. He wants to get paid. He's just trying to get paid, get his. Because once you get to that certain point in your career, man, you start looking back. You do the reflections. You had that graph up on I don't know if it was Instagram about Mahomes and Russell Wilson. Everything's looking shiny. Russell Wilson's probably going to go to 29 Super Bowls. And now here he is at this point in his career going, oh, my Lord, I love vanilla ice cream, but you know what? I've heard something about that moose print. I might want to try that shit. And so you can't be mad at him, man. It's Seattle. God bless Seattle. Melissa, God bless Seattle, woman. But at some point, you want more than one sunny day a year. You just want to go ahead and try something different, all shit and fun aside. But
I think the real question here, Mike, is for these quarterbacks who are now you've seen over the last few years what NBA players can command because of the salaries they command and everything else. You see LeBron picking and choosing his coaches. This is who I choose, or I at least want to be on the discussion of who gets to coach the team, who gets to run the team, the moves that are made and everything else. And it goes back to Kobe. It goes back to even MJ. And, you saw and everything what happens when you don't. The owner broke up the team just because in a power struggle. So, when you look at all this, how much should owners concede to their star building block players? Deshaun Watson wants to call on who coaches him, who the GM is. And yeah, maybe the Texans are that organization that's so messed up. Maybe you want that. But now, then all of a sudden Russell Wilson looks over and goes, wait, what's going on over there? Patrick Mahomes got a $500 million contract. And then the next day he was a part owner of the Royals and he gets a say in this and he gets a say in that. Wait, how come I don't have what he has? Because Russell Wilson just signed an extension in 2019. Guaranteed him over $100 million and everything else. But now he's looking at going, now he's unhappy. A year later, a year removed from his guaranteed money, and now all of a sudden he's unhappy saying, there needs to be more done. There needs to be more done, Mike. So what is it really? Is it Russell Wilson wants to say, or is it, genuine unhappiness?
You know what? And I don't want to be on the fence on this, but it's almost on the fence because, yeah, when you see someone, you go, man, this young kid's getting it. Although when you see this young kid be one Patrick Mahomes, you're like, bro, are you really, I think, what are they supposed to not give him that money? So that's okay, man. Worry about your lawn. Don't we use a turf guard. We don't care what you're using over there, man. Do what you do because if you're saying what you're saying and everybody wants to have a say, guess who's not going to give that kind of shit, man? The Roonies ain't having that. The Roonies like, wait, you want to have what? Yeah. You know what we'll do is when we hire them, we'll call you and let you know they've been hired, and then we could talk about it because some organizations have their stuff together, other ones don't. Kansas City, that was just what they felt. They've been behind so long, so many years, man, that they felt ingratiated to do what they can do to make sure that Patrick Mahomes is not only happy, but that he wants to stay there. And those are two different things. Like you just said, Russell Wilson was happy. Now he ain't happy, and it's not that he doesn't want to stay there, but he's just not unhappy. So what do they need to do? And man, you can forget how you get in those lanes so long. You talk all this, you see Seattle fans, man. You see them out there, and they just keep doing this. They keep chirping. You're like, oh, y'all forgot. Okay. Yeah. All right, yeah. Alexander, those years was good years and all that stuff. But yeah, y'all wasn't shit for a long time. So
remember Matt Hasselbeck was y'all's quarterback? Come on, man. Come on.
So forget. Sometimes you need to treat your players the way you need to be treated. I know we've been sitting here talking about other divisions, but the same thing goes with Derek Carr. He has to feel like, dude, why my name always in your mouth, man? Take my name out your mouth. Take my name out your mouth, man. So it's Seattle. Yeah, I don't know, but Seattle, they should rebuild. I know. I came back. You took it down. I know. I digress. But going back to it is that sometimes you just got to let it go, dude. He's 30. You said 31, 32?
Yeah.
32 years old. Yeah, let him go somewhere else, man. Do something different. It's sometimes you play the hand too long and you get burned. And if he's not happy, why are you keeping him there? They're quarterbacks coming up in the draft. Let's be real. You got him in the third round. It's not like when you drafted Russell Wilson, you're like, oh, this was our guy from day one. You got lucky. You got lucky. You went Jed Clampett.
Who was before him? Was it Matt Castle?
No. Oh, girl's wife, husband. The ESPN. What's her name?
Ponder,
yeah.
No, that was Christian Ponder wasn't in Seattle, right?
He wasn't?
No, he was with the Vikings.
Huh. Who was the other one you said?
I think it was Matt Castle.
No, it wasn't Matt.
Because they got somebody from the Patriots. They paid him a lot of money, and then Russell Wilson beat him out.
Someone steal my phone again.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at this point. we're talking history now. Well, that's it. In the end, should they rebuild? Yeah, who knows? Who knows anymore? Everyone should rebuild. Everyone get rid of all your players. Rebuild. You know what? I hate this new laptop stand I got. It's it shakes too much. Every time I touch my laptop, it shakes. It
elevates your elevation.
Yeah, so I don't really like it, man. I thought it was metal. I thought it was going to be sturdy. But that's it. Well, everyone, that's the show. We were just talking football tonight. That's all we wanted to do. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're staying warm. And, thank you, everyone, who chimed in and everything. We'll have a show with the guests and everything else. Once everyone thaws across the country next week, we'll have that back and, back to our usual shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans. I love shenanigans.
All right, for MP, I'm Jay Long. Oh, congratulations, Cisco. He's got a new place. I know that's why he's not on the show tonight, but he's painting and doing all that stuff. So congrats to him. Black Hole Rob. And for our guest that was going to be Doug Ware out of New Orleans, we understand.
Be safe.
Be safe. Stay warm. Hope that electricity comes on soon. And we will talk to you guys next week. Right?
Peace.